My beloved child, do not scroll past this moment. This is not an accident. This is a divine interruption. You have been praying for change, whispering in the dark, aching for clarity, for peace, for purpose. Tonight, I am answering you. A shift has already begun in your spirit. You feel it, but you can't explain it. This message holds the confirmation your soul has been waiting for. Before this video ends, I will reveal the next step in your journey. But you must stay still, stay open, because I am speaking, and what I say now will mark the beginning of everything new. My child, I am your father, not a distant deity seated in unreachable heights, but a tender father who watches over every step you take, even when you stray from the path of life. I have seen you sitting alone in the late hours of the night, when the laughter fades and only sighs remain. I have heard the sobs you cannot speak, the silent prayers you barely dare to hope someone will hear. But I have heard, I have seen, and more than that, I have suffered with you. Do not believe the cruel whispers that echo in your mind, the voices that tell you you've gone too far, that you can't return, that I have closed my heart to you. Your enemy knows the terror your return brings him, because when you turn back and take even a single step toward me, my light will blaze like fire, and the darkness, no matter how thick, will not be able to resist it. You are not too far gone for me to reach you. You are not too stained for me to cleanse you. There is no pit so deep that my love cannot descend into it. You were once a radiant star in my hand, not because you were flawless, but because you surrendered. I chose you not for your strength, but because you knew how to lean on mine. And even in your stumbling, my gaze has never turned away. You are not a failure. You are a child on the way home, and in my house, the light is always left on for your return. Today I speak to you not in the thunder of judgment, but in the whisper of mercy. I do not need you to understand everything. I only ask that you believe. Believe that I am still the one who can rebuild what has been shattered. Believe that even though you have locked yourself in a prison of your own making, I still hold the key. If you place it all into my hands, I will take your broken pieces and shape them into something more beautiful than before. You are living in a spiritual war, one that mortal eyes cannot see. The enemy does not only target your actions, he targets your identity. He wants you to forget who you are. He wants to pull you into the fog of superstition and doubt, to believe that I only walk with the good, that my grace has a limit. But no, my child, it is in the place of your deepest weakness that my grace flows most powerfully. It is in the place of your collapse that I find the opportunity to lift you up and hold you close. Come home, beloved one, not with shame, but with hope. For I have prepared a new robe for you, a signet ring for your hand, and a feast of joy to celebrate your return. Do not let the voices of your past hold you back another moment. Do not let old sins whisper that you are worthless. Do you not know the blood of the Lamb has been poured out to wash away all of it? Not part of it, all of it, not temporarily, but forever. My child, if only you knew how deeply I love you, you would no longer hesitate. My love is not swayed by your actions. It does not fade with time. This love is an eternal flame, a cord that binds my heart to yours, even when you try to run. And now I am calling you back, not to scold, but to restore, not to expose, but to cover, not to reject, but to reinstate you to your true place. You once heard me clearly. You once felt my presence with certainty, but gradually the noise of this world made me feel distant. Disappointments, delayed promises, and the betrayal of those you trusted, all these have wounded your spirit. But my child, I am not like man that I should change my mind. What I have promised remains. You have not lost your reward just because your steps have been slow. I am still waiting. I am still holding what I have prepared for you. And today, if you could only whisper the words, help me. The whole of heaven would move on your behalf. I do not only desire to save you from danger, I long to bring you to a place of safety, a place where you will not merely survive but thrive. I want to teach you how to walk in true freedom, not the kind of freedom you manufacture, but the freedom found in my grace. The freedom to be forgiven, the freedom to love again, the freedom to move forward without the chains of sin or the shadows of painful memories holding you back. My child, when I call you to let go, it is never to leave you empty-handed. It is so that you can receive what is truly precious. You have clung to things that seemed secure, the glow of recognition, the garment of approval, and the applause of the crowd. You once believed that if you were just a little more successful, more loved, more admired, your soul would finally be at peace. But you have seen it for yourself. Behind every cheer is a greater silence. After every celebration comes a deeper loneliness, and beyond every round of praise is a sigh no one else hears. Fame cannot mend the fractures in your soul. Material comfort cannot soothe the quiet ache within, and the ego, even when adorned with every good thing, cannot uphold you when life caves in. I see how weary you are from trying to keep everything perfect. I see you smiling while your heart quietly breaks. I know how hard you've tried to live well, to please others, to make sure no one sees you falling apart. But my beloved, I never asked you to carry such weight. I did not create you to live under the burden of artificial perfection. I created you to live in truth, and the truth is this: you don't have to save yourself. It's time to stop trusting the tattered lifeboats this world offers. It's time to lay aside those faulty beliefs, that your worth is measured by your output, that happiness is found in your possessions, that peace means no one ever criticizes you. All of these are mere echoes from a world that does not understand real love. I am calling you to come closer, close enough to hear me whisper into your soul, close enough that you no longer mistake my voice for the noise of the world. Let it go. Release what you're clinging to that no longer holds value, because only when your hands are empty can I place heaven's treasures into them. I do not give as the world gives. I do not give only to take back. I do not bless you so that you feel indebted. My love does not keep score. My grace has no price tag. I give peace, not the artificial calm of fleeting retreats or quiet moments of meditation, but the unshakable peace that holds firm in the storm. A peace that remains when everything around you falls apart, when the ones you trusted walk away, when your dreams dissolve into nothing. It is a peace no one can take away, because it does not come from outside you. It comes from me, the one who dwells within you. You say you no longer have the strength to pray. You say you're not strong enough to keep going. But have you ever realized this? That it is in your weakest moments that my strength is made perfect in you. I am not waiting for a flawless person. I am not looking for someone who never stumbles. I choose hearts that are willing to surrender, not to the world, but to me, so that I may fight on your behalf. You don't need to prove anything anymore. You only need to allow me to be your father, your keeper, your healer, your guide, your forgiver, and the one who makes all things new. When your mind is overwhelmed by conflicting decisions, when you can no longer tell right from wrong, when every path seems to lead to exhaustion, that is precisely when I will give you clarity. Not the kind of wisdom learned from books, but the wisdom that comes from my spirit. You will hear a gentle voice within your heart saying, "This is the way. Walk in it." I do not abandon you at the crossroads of life. I am the one who prepares the way, who opens doors, who makes the desert bloom. All you need is to take one step, then I will take care of the rest. And when you are in pain, when no one understands, no one shares your burden, no one truly listens, I sit beside you without asking for a single word. I know every trembling beat in your chest, every tear you shed I store like precious gems. You are not forgotten. No pain you experience is meaningless. Every wound, every stumble, every disappointment, I gather them all, and one day they will become the evidence of restoration. They will be the proof that you were not forsaken, not crushed, but reborn in the power of my love. And then, when you think everything is over, I come. When you believe every door has closed, I open a new path. When you feel you have nothing left to give, I fill your soul again with hope. Because I am not only the God of beginnings, I am also the God of new beginnings. There is no failure too great that I cannot turn into victory. No journey too far that I cannot draw you back from. No dream too shattered that I cannot recreate. You are my beloved masterpiece, destined for far greater things than you have ever imagined. My child, do not let your heart grow hardened because of past wounds. Do not let former failures define your future. Do not let fear keep you lingering in the wilderness. Believe this: if I led the Israelites through the Red Sea, if I brought forth water from the rock, if I raised the dead to life, then there is nothing in your life that is too difficult for me. The only thing I need is a willing heart. I have seen that willingness not only in you, but in many of my beloved children. Some have stood under the spotlight, surrounded by cheering crowds, yet inside they bore a barren wilderness. I have seen Jim Carrey, a man the world calls a comedy legend, and yet in his quietest hours, he once bowed his head and asked, "All of this, what is it really for?" Fame could not heal the emptiness in his heart. Wealth could not purchase the vitality of his soul. The smiles on screen could not drown out the silent cries within. And then, in the height of his fame, I touched his heart, not with thunder or miracles, but with a gentle truth. That man does not live by bread alone, but by every word that proceeds from the mouth of God. I awakened him from the trance of the world and led him into an inward journey where he no longer needed an audience, no longer needed applause, but only one thing: truth, peace, and love that come from me. Let me tell you this, not to say that fame is evil, but so you may understand that if you allow what is temporary to sit upon the throne of your heart, you will forfeit what is eternal. I am the one who created every gift, every talent, every opportunity. But if you use them only to build your own kingdom without making me your rock and foundation, then in the end, it will all come crashing down. Look at those whom the world once called people who had it all, and yet they left everything behind to seek me, because only in me did they find what money could never purchase, what fame could never touch, and what status could never preserve. A peace that surpasses all understanding, and an identity that no one can take away. Being children of the living God. My child, I am not asking you to give up your dreams. I am calling you to surrender their direction into my hands. I am not asking you to reject every achievement, but I want you to lay them at my feet so I may turn them into tools, not chains. If you let me go before you, glory will not destroy you. If you let me hold your hand, fame will not cause you to lose yourself. My child, listen to me with your soul, even if it's broken and bruised. The words I speak today are not thunder meant to terrify, but the gentle breath of a father calling his beloved child home. I have not come to expose you before the crowd, nor to heap shame on you, as the world so often does. I come not with judgment, but with a lifeline, a path of restoration, a road back home paved with mercy that has never run dry. I know you have gone far, so far that even you have wondered, surely he has forgotten me. But my child, there is no distance in this universe that can make me stop loving you. Even if you ascend to the heights of heaven or fall into the deepest pit of night, I am there, not to question how you ended up that way, but to whisper, I am still here. I never left you. You think you are no longer worthy. You believe you've destroyed everything, that nothing can be redeemed. But I am the restorer, the one who brings dead things back to life, the one who takes ashes and crafts them into glory. There is no darkness my light cannot pierce. There is no sin too great for my mercy to reach. For I do not look at you through the lens of your actions. I see you through the eyes of love, the same love that once led my only son to the cross for you. I see clearly the chains that bind you, not chains of iron and steel, but invisible ones, heavier than any prison, chains of shame left unspoken, chains of questions without answers, chains forged from shattered dreams and mistakes you've hidden in the darkest corners of your heart. I see even the things you haven't dared to admit to yourself, and I do not despise you. I do not turn my face away. Instead, I bend down like a father kneeling beside his fallen child and say, "Let me undo each thread that's choking your soul." I did not come to punish. I came to break captivity, to break fear, to break every lie the enemy has whispered into your ears for years. I came to reclaim what rightfully belongs to you, freedom in me. You were not created to live in bondage. You were not born to carry endless burdens. Your soul was woven for lightness, for radiance, for the unshackled freedom of a bird soaring across an open sky. Do you remember, my child, that I loved you even before you missed a single step? Before sin crept into your heart, I already knew you would fall, and I had already prepared redemption. I was never surprised by your weakness. What grieves me is when you don't know that I have always been willing to forgive. It grieves me when you run from my arms, believing you no longer deserve to be loved. But let me tell you this again with all sincerity. Nothing you do can make me love you less, and nothing you do more will ever make me love you more. My love is not dependent on how skilled you are, how strong you are, or how morally upright you are. My love is rooted in who I am, and who I am is unshakable love. So stop running, stop pretending you're okay, stop trying to prove your worth. I do not want you to fix yourself before coming close to me. I want you to come close so that I can be the one to restore you. I don't need your explanations, I need your surrender. Let me, the only one both powerful and tender, lift the burden off your shoulders and place within you the peace no one else can give. I did not come just to break chains. I came to replace them with a new robe, a robe of identity, of forgiveness, of fresh anointing. I came to give you strong feet, not so you can run from your past, but so you can run into your destiny. You think I came only to heal your wounds? No, I intend to use those very scars to write a story that will astonish heaven. You think I came to make you a little less broken? No, I came to make you the radiant version I designed from the very beginning. Don't let the enemy steal another day from your life. Don't believe the lie that it's too late. It is precisely when you feel at the end that I am preparing a magnificent beginning. It is when you believe every door has shut that I am opening one no one can close. It is when you think you have nothing left to offer that I see a broken heart. And to me, that is the most precious offering of all. You once dreamed of freedom, yet found yourself bound by your own fears. You once longed to be loved, yet settled for unhealthy connections because you feared being left behind. You once desired to do what's right, yet found yourself repeating the same mistakes. I see it all, and I am neither surprised nor disappointed, for I have loved you even before you knew me, and that love today remains unchanged. My child, if you feel no one believes in you anymore, remember, I still do. If you feel too weak to pray, just whisper my name. If you don't know what to say nothing at all. I will still come. I am not limited by words. I am moved by hearts. And a broken, contrite heart is always a place I long to dwell in. Beloved one, I know every hidden corner of your soul, those places you dare not let anyone step into, the wounds you try to conceal behind a fragile smile. I see it all. There is no pain in you that escapes my sight. Some wounds are so old they seem to have dried out, but one word, one memory, and they ache as if it were just yesterday. Some were inflicted by others, through betrayal, silence, rejection, but others you inflicted upon yourself through wrong choices, words you wish you'd never spoken, actions that still stir guilt deep within. But my child, I did not come to condemn those wounds. I came to touch them with the healing love that flows from my very being. I am the one who binds up the brokenhearted, the one who stitches back together souls torn apart by disappointment and pain. I do not recoil at the scars you carry. On the contrary, I gaze upon them with compassion and tender love, like a potter who sees the cracks in a vessel and still chooses to keep it, to restore it, to fill it again and make it even more valuable because of those very cracks. You think your wounds are the reason you can't draw near to me, but in truth, it is because of those very wounds that I drew near to you. Do you not know I too bear wounds? Nail marks in my hands and feet, and a spear that pierced my side. I do not merely know about suffering. I have tasted it, not because I needed to prove anything, but because I chose to carry it all so you would never have to carry it alone. My hand, the very hand that hung the sun in the sky, that set the stars in their courses, that upheld the seas and shaped the mountain, that hand was pierced so it could reach out and hold your trembling hand. That hand did not come to strike you down, but to lift you up, not just once, but every time you fall. Not with judgment, but with a love that does not change. I did not suffer so you would continue living in guilt, self-condemnation, or the weight of being a burden or a failure. I did not pay the price on the cross so that you would still wander in darkness, punishing and blaming yourself. No, my child, I suffered, not so you would bow your head in shame, but so you could lift it in hope. Not so you would live in fear, but so you could walk in freedom. Not so you would spiral in shame, but so you would rise in victory. I know you fear that my gaze will be like the world's, harsh, cold, demanding. You worry that if I saw you for who you really are, I would turn away. But beloved, my eyes are the eyes of the one who created you. They pierce beyond the surface, beyond behavior, and see the deep longing within your soul, the longing to be loved, to be forgiven, to begin again. And I do not reject that cry. I open my arms, not to accuse, but to embrace. You expected wrath, but what I have for you is grace. Not a weak or indulgent grace, but a grace so mighty it shatters chains, silences the accuser, and transforms even what once seemed unchangeable. I do not overlook sin. I bore it. I do not trivialize brokenness. I carried it in my body. And for that very reason, today you are no longer under wrath. You are not suspended on the scales of judgment. You have been placed upon the firm foundation of forgiveness. If your heart still trembles, if you still feel unworthy, then lift your eyes to the cross. Don't look at your failures, look at my victory. Don't focus on what your hands have done. Look at what my hands endured for your sake. Don't ask, how many times have I failed? But ask, how many times have I forgiven? And the answer will always be all of them. My child, I do not wait for you to be perfect in order to love you. I love you, and it is that very love that will perfect you. I do not seek a spotless resume or a past without blemish. I seek a heart that says, help me, because I cannot change on my own. And when you speak those words, all of heaven goes silent, because a child is ready to return home. And to me, nothing is more precious than a soul surrendered in weakness, a heart that dares to break open in order to be healed. You once prepared yourself for rejection, but I was preparing arms to welcome you. You built walls to shield your heart from being hurt again, yet I long to step past those walls, not to attack, but to bring true life. I do not come knocking to accuse you. I come to invite you out from the shell, out from fear, out from the voices of the past, and into the light where you can breathe again, live again, not as a failure, but as a redeemed child, restored, loved, and made whole. You will no longer need to hide when you hear my voice calling. You will no longer shrink back when the past resurfaces in your mind. I do more than wipe away tears. I give you new eyes. I do more than clear the rubble. I rebuild it all with my own love. Every brick is forgiveness. Every beam is mercy. Every covering above you is peace sent straight from heaven. And one day you will tell your story not with sorrow, but with joy and holy pride. You will say, I once fell, I was once wounded, but he shielded me. And that story will become a living testimony, guiding others to find the same path of freedom you once found. My beloved, I don't just see the weary shell of your being. I perceive every trembling beat of your heart, the things you've never spoken to anyone, the questions you don't even dare to form into words, and the fears you hide behind eyes that pretend to feel nothing. Do not be afraid to draw near to me. I do not require you to present yourself as strong, flawless, or put together. I ask you to come just as you are. Wounded heart, soul aching for healing, and dreams barely breathing beneath the ashes of lost hope. You don't need to strain to conceal the cracks. I know each fracture in your heart intimately. I know the places where betrayal once broke you, the quiet corners where rejection whispered lies, even the shadows you fear to face. I have already seen them, but child, I do not turn away from your scars. On the contrary, I kneel beside you and place my hand upon each wound with the tenderness of a father. I heal with compassion, I bind up with hope, and I renew with a love that never changes. I hear your cries in the midnight hours when no one else knows. The small sobs you try to silence may seem unnoticed to others, but to me, they are prayers that echo to the heights of heaven. Do not suppress your tears. They are not marks of failure. They are surrender. They are the sacred language of an honest soul. I collect every tear like a precious gem, and I do not let a single drop fall in vain. Each tear is an invitation for me to step deeper into your story. And I have come not to judge or condemn, but to restore and rebuild what has been broken. I have read every chapter of your life, and not once did I flinch at your failures or falter in my love. Instead, I am preparing to write the next part, a new chapter filled with hope, where light overcomes the darkness, and where my truth casts out every lie you ever believed about yourself. You were not born merely to survive sadness and endure suffering. You were not formed to live under shame or the weight of guilt. You are not a collection of mistakes, nor a product of your past. You are my handiwork, crafted with intention, purpose, and joy. I chose every detail of who you are, from your voice to your eyes to your capacity to love deeply. None of it is accidental, my child. If only you could see yourself through my eyes, you would understand why I have never abandoned you, even in the moments when you chose to walk away from me. There is no road too distant that I would not pursue, no pit too dark that my light cannot reach, no heart too hardened that my love cannot melt. Let me hold you not only in your triumphs, but also in your failures. Not only when you worship, but also in the moments you feel empty, doubtful, and weak. I do not fear the storms inside your soul. I am not pushed away by the chaos within you. On the contrary, I come to dwell there, to sanctify that very place with my presence. My spirit is ready to breathe new life into your weary soul. He does not come to condemn, but to restore, not to corner you, but to break chains and open a way of escape. He will sustain you when your strength is gone. He will remind you of your true worth when the world leaves you confused, and he will immerse you in peace that surpasses all understanding. You are not forgotten. You are not abandoned. You are not a burden. My heart still beats with every pulse for you. Each day, I wait for your return, like a father standing at the end of the road, eyes fixed in longing for his lost child. No matter how far you have wandered, I still call your name, and that call has never faded. I do not promise you a life without tears, but I promise to wipe them all away. I do not guarantee you a path without darkness, but I assure you my light will never be extinguished. I do not say you will never fall, but I vow to lift you up again and again until you stand firm in the truth of who you are. Do not seek elsewhere what only I can give. True acceptance, true healing, true rest. They are found in my embrace alone. Other voices will make promises, but only I keep them. Other arms will grow weary, but my arms will never withdraw. So, return to me, my child, not with hurried footsteps, but with a sincere heart. You need not prepare a defense, for I have seen it all and still love you just the same. You don't have to prove yourself to be accepted. Your very existence is enough for me to call you beloved. Let go of what does not keep you safe. Surrender the false identities you've worn. Let the hurtful words fall like withered leaves, and open your heart to the new life I am offering. For what I am about to do in you is not a repair, but a complete renewal. I will stir your heart once more with goodness. I will teach you to rejoice in suffering, to sing even in the midst of brokenness. I will make you a dwelling place for my presence, a witness of my unchanging faithfulness, and a beacon of light for those still searching for a way out. This is not the end. This is the new beginning, a beginning not written in ink, but in the blood of the one who loved you to the very end. And from that place, a new story begins, a story that I will write with you, not in fear or regret, but in hope, in restoration, and in unconditional love. My beloved child, I see clearly the silent struggle within the depths of your soul, the place where unanswered questions still whisper in the late hours of the night, where you try to hold on to faith but feel as if it's slipping through your fingers like sand. I know you are wrestling with doubt, not just doubt in your circumstances, but doubt in me. I know you've wondered if I truly hear you, if I'm still present, if I really love you the way others say I do. And yet, I do not reject you for those questions. No, my child, I do not retreat, not even half a step. I am not like people, those who walk away when things are no longer easy, who turn their faces when comfort fades or withdraw when they can't comprehend your story. I am not like that. I am the faithful one. I am the one who stays. When others walk away, I remain. When the world turns its back, I still gaze upon you with unchanging eyes, the eyes of a father who has never stopped loving. Do you think your doubts drive me away? Never. Even when you question me, I believe in the potential within you. Even when you challenge me, I wait patiently for you to come closer. Even when you whisper, "I'm not sure anymore, Lord," I respond, "But I am sure. I still choose you." My faithfulness does not waver with your uncertainty. My love is not determined by your outward performance or shifting emotions. I do not love you more on the days you pray fervently, and I do not love you less on the days you fall silent. My love for you is not rooted in your productivity, but in my very nature. And I am love. Let this truth comfort you today. You do not have to fight to earn my love. You do not need to strive for my attention. You already hold a place in my heart, long before you even knew me. And when I look at you, I do not see someone failing, but someone being shaped, refined, and renewed into my image. There will be days when you feel like an unfinished draft, a story half written, a promise unfulfilled. But remember this, I never abandon what I begin. I am not an author who writes a few pages and then closes the book of your life. I am the one who writes to completion, edits with mercy, and seals with the blood of redemption. Even when you feel unworthy, I still call you chosen. Even when you can no longer believe in yourself, I still see the treasure inside you, the very treasure you've forgotten. You think I love you because you're holy. No, I loved you before you knew how to walk in righteousness. You think I love you because you are valuable. No, it is my love that gives you value. There is nothing you could ever do to make me love you more, for I already love you with all that I am. And there is nothing you could do to make me love you less, because this love does not originate from you. It flows from me. It cannot be damaged by your stumbles, dimmed by your past mistakes, or stolen by the darkness. I am the one who does not change, yesterday, today, and forevermore. That constancy is the firm foundation beneath your feet in the storms of life. Even when you lose your sense of direction, there remains a lighthouse that never dims. It is me, my child. You have always belonged to me, and that truth remains unchanged. Not because you've held on to faith, but because I have held on to you with everlasting arms. Even if you feel far from me, I am closer than you think. Even if you cry out in the wilderness, I hear every fragile heartbeat within you. I do not regret placing my calling upon your life. I do not withdraw the promises I have spoken. What I have declared, I will fulfill. What I have begun, I will bring to completion. And you, yes, you, are the one I have engraved on the palm of my hand, so that nothing, no one, and no force can snatch you from my grasp. Do not be afraid when your faith feels fragile. Come to me, even if you carry doubts with you. I do not require perfection to embrace you. I only ask for a true heart. And if that is all you have, a heart tangled in confusion but still yearning, then I say to you, that is enough. Do not run any longer, my beloved. Do not lock yourself inside invisible walls built from fear, from wounds, from the belief that you are unworthy. Do not let darkness and silence become the dwelling place of your soul, for that is not where you were born to live. I did not create you to shrink back, to hide, or to bow your head beneath the weight of shattered memories. I did not design you to merely exist. I created you to live fully, to live boldly, to live in my love and light. Come to me. Return, not with pretense or performance. There's no need to cover your scars, no need to clean your soul before knocking. You do not need to be perfect to step into my presence. You only need to be real. Real with yourself, real with the wounds you carry, and real with the deep desire within you. The desire to be loved unconditionally, to be accepted without judgment, to belong without fear of abandonment. My arms have always been open, not just today, but long before now. From the moment you strayed from my path, I have been standing there, not with blame, not with coercion, but with quiet waiting. Waiting for the day you grow weary of roads that lead nowhere. Waiting for the moment you realize that the voices out there cannot fill the emptiness within. And now, as you pause, I say to you, come. Bring no baggage from the past, offer no explanations. I already know everything, and still, I choose you. My heart is ready to receive all that you bring, even the things you are ashamed of. I am not surprised by what you've tried to hide, for I see more clearly than you imagine. Yet in the midst of it all, I see something most precious, the desire to return. And that alone is enough to stir the heavens. My child, do you know this? In the very moment you turned your heart back, all of heaven rejoiced. The angels began to sing over you, the precious soul who chose to return to the light. Your return is not a small act. It is a miracle, an echo that shakes the courts of heaven. I did not wait for you to become strong before celebrating. I rejoiced in that fragile yet honest decision, the decision to open your heart again, even while still trembling. I have seen every step you've taken, slow, hesitant, even pausing in doubt, but each of those steps to me is holy. For with every inch you draw nearer, I come closer still. And when there is no distance left, I will wrap my arms around you like a father embracing his long-lost child in tears. Tears of joy, of forgiveness, and of a love that has never stopped flowing. I see clearly that there is something precious within your heart, a longing to live in freedom, no longer bound by past mistakes, no longer pulled backward by painful memories, no longer controlled by the weight of unworthiness. And I say this to you, it was I who planted that longing deep within you. I am the one who placed the call to freedom inside your soul. And I am also the one who will lead you into it, not by your own strength, but by my power and grace. You do not have to walk this path alone. I will go with you through every season of trial, through every dark night, through every silent battle that wages within. I will not only walk beside you, but I will go ahead of you to prepare the way, behind you to protect you, within you to strengthen you, and above you to shine light upon your steps. Even if the road is narrow, even if the winds blow against you, you will never be left behind. Do not think you need to fix yourself before coming to me. Do not wait until you're good enough, holy enough, or strong enough to knock on the door, because if you could heal yourself, there would be no need for me. It is precisely because you cannot do it on your own that I came, not to condemn, but to rescue, not to criticize, but to heal, not to place more burdens on your shoulders, but to break the chains that have bound you to yourself. So come, just come. Come as you are right now, with a heart still bleeding, with fragile faith, with a soul that's thirsting for even the faintest light. Come and leave the rest to me. Hand me the things you don't understand. Let me do what only I can do. Transform me from the inside out, little by little, with unshakable love and unending patience. I do not promise that everything will be easy, but I promise you will never be alone. I do not say there will be no more tears, but I promise that every tear will hold meaning. I do not claim you will always understand, but I assure you that you will always be held. My beloved, the journey doesn't begin when you feel ready. The journey begins the moment you choose to trust. So right now, even while everything still feels unfinished and unclear, take the step. Step into the light. Step into love. Step toward me, my beloved. Do not mistake me for one who only dwells in lofty heights. Far away, seated in majestic temples or in the midst of loud praise. No, child, I am found in the weak sighs of the suffering. I hide myself in the unnoticed places, in the dark room where you once wept silently, where dreams lay shattered and trust quietly dissolved. I am there, never once leaving your side. I do not despise your weakness. I do not avoid your broken heart. I do not withdraw from the corners you've tried to hide in shame. On the contrary, those are the very places I long most to enter, to wipe your tears, to soothe wounds you cannot even name, and to whisper the one truth your heart has always longed to hear. You are still mine. I do not ask you to be perfect before drawing near. It was I who stepped down to seek you out in your most broken state, not to accuse, but to restore. My grace is not for the one who sees himself as righteous, but for the one who knows he is weak and knows he needs me. I do not shame those who wrestle with doubt or guilt. I do not reject the one who has stumbled. Instead, I open wide my arms to embrace every shattered soul, every weary heart worn down by judgment, every person who longs to be loved but doesn't know if they're worthy. My beloved, I see the fear in your eyes when you even think of opening your heart. I understand why you've built such thick walls around it. The old wounds, the buried memories, the cruel words that once pierced you like knives. They have made you cautious. They've convinced you it's safer to remain unseen, unknown. But child, that also means you're locking yourself in a darkness I never intended for you to live in. Let me come in. not to tear down the walls with force, but to gently reach into the depths you've been too afraid to face. I do not come demanding answers, but to embrace you with a loving presence. I do not merely wish to see you behind the forced smile or the appearance of strength. I want to touch the part of you you've tried to forget, the part you deemed ugly and unworthy of being seen, because it is precisely there that I will write the most glorious chapter of your life. How many voices have tried to define you? How many opinions from others have led you to question your worth? How many times have you believed the lie of the enemy, that you are a failure, a disgrace, a burden no one wants? But I speak to you today, and my word is truth. You are not what the past has done to you. You are not the mistakes you once made. You are not the product of rejection, abandonment, or shame. You are my masterpiece, fearfully and wonderfully made, with a sacred purpose that no power on earth can destroy. I knew you before you were formed in your mother's womb. Every detail in you, from the scars to the dreams, from the pain to the hope, has a place in my divine plan. You thought you needed to clean yourself up, to fix everything before coming near me. But I say to you, come just as you are, bringing whatever you carry, your tears, your wounds, your doubts, even your mess. Come without pretense, without hiding, because my love is not conditional. It does not fade when you fail. It does not withdraw when you are weak. It is in your very brokenness that I am most able to move deeply in your life. Step quietly out from your hiding place, not with fear, but with a trembling yet sincere hope that if you open your heart, I will not despise you. If you tell the truth, I will not turn away. If you place yourself in my hands, I will not crush you. I will reshape you, restore you, and honor you more than before. There is nothing in your life too filthy for me to touch. No chapter in your past is too dark for me to rewrite with light. I am the God of new beginnings. I am the one who rewrites stories that seem to have ended. I am the one who brings life to what was once dead. Let me do that in you. Don't just hear about me. Don't just speak of me as some abstract belief. Experience me with a real heart, a true surrender, a genuine sigh, and honest tears. I will not miss it. I will respond. I will come, not as a distant concept, but as a real father. I will embrace you like a father welcoming home his lost child. I will clothe you again with the robe of honor. I will place a ring on your finger to restore the value you had forgotten. And in the face of every mocking voice, I will declare, this is my beloved child, once lost but now found, once dead but now alive. Remember this, grace is not a reward for the deserving. It is a gift for those who know they are in need. And today, if you feel unworthy, then you are closer to grace than ever before. Don't let shame hold you back. Don't let the accuser's voice silence you. Speak up. Say, Lord, I need you. And in that moment, you will feel heaven begin to move. I will come with all my power, with all my love, with all my mercy, to heal, restore, and bring you back to where you truly belong, in my arms. I did not come to change your past, but I will give you a future that your past can no longer control. I do not promise that everything will be easy, but I promise you will never have to walk alone again. With every step you take, I will walk with you. With every tear you shed, I will wipe it away. In every dark night, I will be your light. And when you no longer have the strength to go on, I will carry you across every chasm. So, my child, open your heart. Let me come in. Let me love you to the very end. Let me call you back to your true name. Not victim, not failure, not cast away, but chosen one, redeemed soul, beloved child, held forever in my heart. And when you believe this, the world will no longer have the power to define you. Only I will, the one who created you, the one who loves you, and the one who will complete the good work within you until the very last day. My beloved, do not fear when your heart is still full of unanswered questions. I see clearly the turmoil within your soul. Part of you longs to trust me completely, while the other part quietly whispers, "Why did I fall into this situation? Why does pain keep surrounding me, even though I never meant to do anything wrong?" I do not judge your confusion, nor do I rebuke you for asking these questions. On the contrary, I cherish the sincerity in your heart. It is in the moments when you feel weakest and cannot make sense of what is happening that I long even more for you to draw near, so I may reveal to you a glimpse of the truth your soul has been desperately searching for. Child, not every danger is a punishment. Not every storm is the wrath of heaven. Sometimes they are warning bells ringing out to tell you that you are straying from the path I have prepared. Sometimes they are gentle reminders that your soul needs to be awakened from spiritual slumber. And sometimes the very trials you face are consequences of choices you once made, turns you believed to be harmless, but which gradually led you far from the place of safety in me. My child, remember this. I do not forsake you because you have strayed, but I cannot continue to shield you in lands where I have never led you. Remember the first forebears of humankind, Adam and Eve. I created them in perfect harmony, placing them in the Garden of Eden, where there was no pain, no sorrow, no danger. Each morning was a moment of sweet closeness, and every evening echoed with the sound of my footsteps through the garden of peace. But when they chose to listen to another voice, a voice full of lies, sweet but deceitful, they stepped out from under my covering. It was not that I drove them away, but that their choice brought about inevitable consequences. When they abandoned their trust in me to chase after an empty promise, they also forfeited the perfect peace I had once given them. My beloved child, this same reality is unfolding in the lives of many, and more than once, even in your own. There have been times when, in your desire to control everything, you chose to listen to the voice of reason rather than be led by faith. At times, driven by fear of being hurt, you closed your heart to me and followed the shortcut of temporary ease. And then, little by little, you found yourself standing in the fields of confusion, wondering how you ended up there. But I say to you, my dearly loved one, I have not abandoned you in that place. Even if you wandered off on your own path, I am still ready to open a way for you to return. I am the one who searches for the lost sheep. I am the one who makes a road in the wilderness, and I am the one who turns painful lessons into testimonies of grace. Do not think that my silence means I am unaware. Do not assume that my lack of response means I do not care. Sometimes my silence is itself a deep teaching, a lesson meant to help you listen, not with your ears but with your soul. A lesson to help you see life not through the lens of fear, but through the eyes of faith. I am loosening the invisible chains that have long bound your heart. I am opening your eyes to discern the difference between what you desire and what you truly need. You may be waiting for a smooth path, a swift answer, an immediately open door. But what I am giving you is far more profound. I am giving you the opportunity to grow in steadfastness. I am shaping your faithfulness in the furnace of trials. I am refining you like pure gold in the fire, not to punish you, but to bestow upon you a heavenly character, something the world can neither give nor take away. Have you ever considered that perhaps the very moments when you feel most wounded are the opportunities I use to touch the deepest parts of your being? It is in those times when you have no other place to lean that you finally look up and realize, I've been there all along. It is when everything around you falls apart that you discover what your true foundation is. And it is when confusion surrounds you like a thick fog that I can lead you back to the unshakable truth. I see how hard you've tried to live well, to harm no one, to keep your heart pure. But my beloved, Life does not always operate according to human fairness. Some calamities arrive not because you have done wrong, but because this world has been broken since the moment sin entered it. Yet in all things, I remain sovereign. I can turn what the enemy meant for evil into the very material for a miracle. I can take the deepest pain and cause it to yield the richest fruits in your spirit. So do not hesitate to draw near to me. Lay down your shame. Remove the mask of strength you've tried so hard to wear. Come to me with a heart that is tender and broken, and I will fill your soul with my healing sweetness. I do not promise to explain everything immediately, but I promise to walk with you through every uncertainty. I do not promise to calm every storm, but I promise to be in the boat with you, keeping you from sinking. And more than that, I will transform you into a bearer of light, one who can guide others through the same valleys where you once stumbled. Remember this: every trial you endure is a new chapter being written in my book about your life. Every tear you shed is a prayer spoken without words, and every time you choose to return, all of heaven erupts in indescribable joy. Do not be afraid to ask questions. Do not be afraid to confront the empty places in your heart. Let me step into those spaces, not to fill them with shallow explanations, but with my very presence. And when you have me, you have everything you truly need. My child, take my hand. Let me lead you through the forest of confusion, across the fields of pain, and up the mountain of forgiveness. Along this journey, you will not only be healed, you will be transformed, and you will look back on these darkest days and say, I didn't understand it then, but now I see. It was in the darkness that I was found. My beloved, you may think I am harsh for allowing trials into your life, but listen to me, the one who knows your thoughts even before they are formed. I do not delight in your tears. I do not find pleasure in your pain or rejoice in your moments of collapse. Every tear you cry pierces my heart. Every silent groan within you echoes in the courts of heaven. But child, there are truths so deep that only sorrow can reveal. There are revelations so profound that only confusion can ignite the hunger to pursue them. And there is a love so vast that I cannot allow you to live forever in falsehood without shaking you awake from that illusion. When I allow the storm to come, it is not to drown you, but to make you pause and look around. Where are you anchoring your life? Is it in me, the eternal rock, or in things that sway with every wind of the world? I let the tempest rise, not to break you, but to pull you out of a false sense of security, the place where you've settled for too long, to the point of forgetting the sacred calling that whispers from deep within. There are things you've pursued, believing they would satisfy you, but they are nothing more than fading shadows, unable to quench the spiritual longing I myself placed in your heart. And because my love for you is too deep, I had to let those things collapse, not to rob you of joy, but to rescue you from the deception that was leading you toward the edge of a cliff. You once held tightly to what seemed unshakable: reputation, wealth, relationships, personal dreams. But one by one, they slipped through your fingers like sand, and you were in pain. I know, but did you notice? When everything fell apart, you started to look up. When there was nowhere left to hold on to, you began to cry out to me, and I was always there. Never once did I leave. It is in those seasons of brokenness that you truly began to enter into a real relationship with me, not just a belief in theory. True love is not meant to make you comfortable. It is meant to make you truly alive, in alignment with the very purpose for which I created you. If I did not love you, I would have allowed you to chase after those deadly things to the very end. I would have let you reap consequences without any warning. But my love is not indifferent, nor is it weak. It is fierce enough to wound you in order to save you, bold enough to let you be disappointed so you may learn where true hope belongs, brave enough to let you fall so that you may discover who truly lifts you up. Do not mistake my mercy for soft indulgence. I love you with a courageous love, a love that confronts your darkness and chooses to stay. There are paths that in human eyes seem wise, paved with light, glory, and convenience. But those roads gradually lead your soul away from me, like a raft gently drifting down a calm river, whose end is a hidden abyss. I see what your eyes cannot yet see, and that's why I have set up markers, not to restrict you, but to warn you. I give you my word, not to take away your freedom, but to show you what true freedom really is. Understand this. My law is not a burden. My commandments are not chains. They are a sacred map through the maze of this world. They are fences of protection in a wilderness full of snares. They are a lamp to your feet and a light to your path. But if you choose to ignore them, if you insist on walking your own way, then I cannot remove the wounds of those choices without proclaim my word. Darkness must retreat. My word holds authority, not only to comfort you, but to break chains, demolish strongholds, and rescue imprisoned souls. My child, you are not a victim in this battle. You are a warrior, anointed, appointed, and fully equipped. You do not fight alone. I am with you. My angels surround you. My spirit lives within you. And every time you pray, every time you stand in my name and resist the darkness, heaven's power is released. Do not let the enemy convince you that you are losing. If you are still standing, if you are still believing, if you are still seeking me, then you are still winning. Remember, your victory is not measured by feelings or circumstances. It is measured by endurance, by faithfulness, by the eyes that remain fixed on me even in the darkest night. Therefore, my child, rise up, put on the full armor, step out of fear and into the power I have already given you. Live not as one who runs away, but as one who is sent. For you are a child of the King of Kings, born not to be bound, but to set others free, saved not merely to survive, but to overcome. And I, the Almighty God, am going before you, in you, and through you. My beloved, in the midst of this spiritual war zone and among the countless voices calling from every direction, I have not left you alone or forsaken. I have placed within you a treasure far more valuable than pure gold. It is the gift of discernment, a spiritual sensitivity that does not come from human ability, but from my very Spirit who dwells in you, lives through you, and leads you daily. He is not silent. He does not hide his face. He is the faithful guide, ever willing to direct you if your heart is willing to seek and your ears are willing to listen. My Spirit is the faithful teacher, the trustworthy shepherd. He will not allow you to walk blindly in the dark unless you cover your own eyes with busyness, pride, or indifference. He will guide you into all truth, not just fragments of it. He will unveil the lies cloaked in reason, strip away the mask of sweet but deadly temptations, and open your eyes to the path I have prepared. Not the easiest path, but the one that leads to life. If you learn to be still, you will realize that I am still speaking. My voice is not lost in the noise. It is near, like a gentle whisper just behind you, tender yet filled with authority. This is the way. Walk in it. You do not need to run in confusion seeking answers. You do not have to plead in darkness for guidance. My sheep know my voice, and you, my child, are one of them. You were created to hear me. You were designed to recognize me, not through chaos, but through intimacy. I do not speak in riddles when your soul is thirsting for truth. I do not whisper through a fog of ambiguity when what you need is clear guidance. But in order to hear me, you must learn to discern the sounds around you. This world is saturated with noise, deceptive invitations, sweet but hollow voices, opinions that appear virtuous but are completely misaligned with my word. If you allow your heart to be filled with such things, then even though my voice is calling out, it will be drowned out. I do not force you to listen. I do not shout into your ears amidst the noise of daily life, nor do I compete with idols for your attention. I am the king, not a beggar for affection. I am your father, not just another option among the many distractions you pursue. If you truly desire to hear my voice, you must make space for me in your heart. You must remove the things that have occupied the place that rightfully belongs to me. You cannot hear me if your heart is pulled toward the voices of ambition, fear, desire, or self-indulgence. I want your whole heart, not a fragment, not only your spare time, not only when you're in distress. I want your heart entirely mine, undivided, unfragmented by the idols you have unknowingly raised. I do not ask this out of selfishness, but because I know, only when your heart fully belongs to me will you live in true safety and freedom. A divided heart is easily shaken, easily compromised, and easily swept away. Remember this. Discernment is not a privilege reserved for a chosen few. It is the rightful inheritance of anyone who walks with me. When you surrender, when you enter into deep communion with my spirit, you will begin to see the difference between true light and false light, between the voice from heaven and the noise of this world. That discernment will save you from countless traps, will keep you from making harmful decisions, and will draw you near to me, where love never changes and my promises are never withdrawn. Perhaps you've made mistakes due to a lack of discernment. Perhaps you followed voices that seemed to be mine, but were not. But my child, I have not abandoned you for this. On the contrary, I am calling you back. Learn once again the sacred art of silence. Withdraw from the crowd, from the screen, from the relentless pace of life, and come to me in the quiet. It is in that secret place that I will speak. It is in those still moments you offer wholly to me that my voice will rise louder than ever before. Do not think I am far away. Do not assume that only the holy can hear me. You have been anointed. You have been sealed with my spirit. You can hear if you desire to hear. And I am waiting, not to condemn, but to whisper life into your soul, to show you the path that endures, to teach you how to walk, no longer driven by emotion, but anchored in unshakable truth. My child, be cautious of the voices that lie. They may sound convincing, they may even speak in my name, but they do not carry my spirit. Test everything by my word. If something sounds pleasing but leads you away from surrender, away from the cross, away from holiness, then it is not from me. My voice never contradicts Scripture. My voice never fuels pride, never excuses sin, never encourages ease at the cost of truth. My voice may cut deep, but it always heals. It may be firm, but it always restores. You are living in an age where truth is distorted, where lies are dressed up as love, and discernment is mistaken for judgment. But I am calling you to stand as a light that will not be extinguished in the midst of this darkness. And you will only be able to stand firm if you learn to listen to me every day, every hour. In every moment you need direction, step away from the noise. Shut the doors that lure you away from stillness with me. Put down the phone. Let go of the obsession to know everything happening in the world and seek out the secret place, the place where it is just you and me. There you will not only hear my voice, but feel the heartbeat of my love for you. And once you've tasted that kind of intimacy, you will no longer crave the cheap voices that once held your attention. For I, the Lord Jehovah, full of love and faithfulness, do not want to be a mere part of your life. I do not want to be your last resort. I long to be the one who reigns supreme in every corner of your being. And when you allow me to take that rightful place, you will see everything else will begin to fall into divine order. So, my child, open your heart wide. Let me take full residence. Offer me the entire inner space of your soul, with no dark corners left untouched. For wherever I dwell, darkness must flee. Wherever my word speaks, lies lose their grip. And in every place where you fully surrender, blessings will overflow. Not according to the standards of this world, but according to the eternal plan I have written for you before the foundation of the earth. Now come to me with a sincere prayer from your heart. You may say something like this: Lord, I know I am walking a dangerous path, but I am not alone. In the midst of looming shadows and the whisper of lies seeking to overtake my mind, I run to you. I no longer want to believe the voices telling me I've been abandoned, that I've gone too far, or that I'm unworthy. Today, I choose to believe your voice, the one that says your love never withdraws, that your arms remain wide open. Open my eyes, Lord, to see what I've never seen before. Angelic armies surrounding me, your presence dwelling even in the places that seem broken beyond repair. Break every chain that holds me captive, from shame to sin, from doubt to old wounds I've hidden for too long. Though danger still surrounds me, if you are with me, I will not be afraid. O God of restoration, bring me home. Renew my spirit and let me walk as one who is called and chosen. Lord, I no longer have the strength to pretend to be strong. I come to you not in perfection, but in the raw truth of my soul, fragile, confused, and full of doubt. But I thank you because even in my doubting, you remain. I thank you because you are not like man. You don't walk away when I question, and you don't retreat when I stumble. Today I open my heart. Please enter the rooms I've kept locked for so long. Heal the hidden places I've been too afraid to touch. Speak life into the parts of me I thought were dead. Let me hear your voice again, loud and clear above all the noise. And let me remember that I still belong to you. I am not a mistake. I am not disqualified. I am loved. And in this wounded soil, I invite you to plant seeds of new life again. Lord, you are the shield and the steadfast fortress of my soul. Teach me how to fully clothe myself in the armor you have provided, so I may never walk as one who is unequipped. Fasten around me the belt of truth to drive out every falsehood, the breastplate of righteousness to guard this tender heart, and the shield of faith to extinguish every flaming arrow from the enemy. Place upon my head the helmet of salvation, and may the sword of your word remain ever sharp upon my lips, ready to declare life and truth. I know that this battle is not a metaphor. The enemy deceives and disguises danger beneath temporary allure. Yet I choose to stay awake, not lulled by the noise of the world. I choose to listen for your voice, not amid the chaos of striving, but in the sacred stillness where you dwell. Holy Spirit, lead me into truth and expose the counterfeit. Guide me through the darkness, not merely to endure but to overcome. Because in you I am more than a conqueror, strengthened not by my ability but by your unwavering power. Lord, I have run far, but never out of the reach of your gaze. I once believed the lies that I had exhausted my chances, that I had gone too far. But now I hear your voice, not one of condemnation, but of love, calling me home. You did not come to punish, but to restore, not to accuse, but to heal the broken places I'd tried to bury. So receive me again into your embrace. Wash away the sins I've carried too long, and cleanse even the silent tears I never dared to share. I come not to perform, not to hide, not with a mask or a defense, but with a soul that longs to be loved in truth. Continue writing my story, Lord, not with ink that fades, but with a pen of grace and the crimson of redemption. Grant me, Father, the eyes of faith to behold the glory beyond the hardship. I do not want to complain in the midst of pain, but to learn the beauty of obedience. Let me believe that what feels like delay is not rejection, but preparation. Teach me to stand firm even in the fire, just as the friends of Daniel once did, because the fourth man in the fire is you. When I am weak, let your power be revealed. When I feel like surrendering, whisper again that your grace is more than enough. When the path before me disappears, be the light that leads. My child, if my words touched you today, don't let them fade with the closing screen. Come back here, often, not for more noise, but for more of me. Each time you return, I will meet you, deeper, stronger, gentler than before. Subscribe not to a channel, but to a conversation with me. Let this be your sanctuary in the storm, your stillness in the swirl. And when your heart feels distant again, come home here. When someone you love is hurting, bring them here. This space is holy ground, and I will speak every time you show up. So don't just watch, follow, return. Expect me, because I am not done speaking into your life. I'll be waiting. Amen.